how it all started going to New York. I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my journey this past half year. Okay, so in like March I decided that it was time for me to start looking at educations, and I knew that I wanted to continue studying acting, and so I started to look at different educations. I really wanted to find an education in the UK, so I started looking at schools in London, and I realised that almost all of them had already had like auditions, or at least it was too late to apply for the schools. So the only school in London I could find that I really wanted to go to that still had auditions was LAMDA, and I booked a trip to London. I booked a hotel, and I even brought my brother on the trip, and I had a lot of things going on in my life during that time, especially around the time of the audition. And I am generally a person who don't like to audition, and at least not in person. Whenever there's an opportunity to do video audition, I always do video audition, even if it's not good, because generally directors and people in this industry want to meet you in person, so it's always better to do auditions in person. But I get very nervous and I get a lot of anxiety before it's time to audition, so I didn't go. When people ask me like, how many schools have you applied for, I don't even mention LAMDA, because I applied for LAMDA but I never even gave LAMDA a chance. So they were kind of out of the picture in the beginning of this whole applying for school process. At the same time that I applied for LAMDA, I also started to look at schools in the United States, just to kind of check if they still had like auditions going on. So I started to look at schools in cities that I feel like I would enjoy living in, and New York is one of them. I've been to New York twice and I love New York, and they have so many good acting schools. New York is like the center of acting and performing arts. I know that people say like Hollywood is the place to be. There's no denying that when it comes to films and the whole film industry, Hollywood is still like one of the major places to be, and yeah, so there's no denying in that. But New York is like center of acting and center of performing. Yeah, so I started to look at schools in New York. I mean, there's Stella Adler, there's Lee Strasberg, I mean the Actors Studio, I was like, what's it called? The Actors Studio, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, which is one of the oldest schools, and blah blah blah. It's just so big. It's all just huge. It's just a huge industry. And there's like everything from schools where you can get a master's degree to schools where you can just like study half a year. One of the schools that I noticed still had auditions that I really wanted to apply to was the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And then I found the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts, also known as NYCDA, or the Conservatory. I noticed that they still had auditions, and I applied for both of them, and I got into both of them, and I got scholarships at both of them. After I got into both of them, it was all just a matter of which school do I want to go to, which school is the right school for me, and I chose the Conservatory in the end. And if you want to know why I chose the Conservatory, or if you want to know why I didn't choose the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, or anything else about this process, meet me in my next video, because I'm going to talk about applying for these two schools. Please do subscribe, because I will post 2 separate videos about the process of applying for the Conservatory and the process of applying for the American Academy. So if there's anything else you want me to talk about in another video, please do let me know. Subscribe if you want to, and please like and comment or just anything, and I'll try to answer your questions in the comments. Okay, have a nice day. Bye. So I started a little bit